Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to St. Lucians for YLAI. My name is Michelle Samuel. I am the founder of SLUDTERA Inc. We are a business development and social impact consulting firm based in St. Lucia. And I'm also a 2017 YLAI alumna myself. And with me, I have two wonderful professional women who will be sharing their experiences with us. Now, when we share this information, please note that this is for you to take in and for you to also pass it on. It's not for you to keep it to yourself. We're expecting you to share with as many people as possible, because the more we get the word out there, the better for us, okay? And you'll understand why as soon as we get into it, all right? So I have joining with me Mrs. Miranda George Arthur of Texture Nights, and I also have Miss Anja Fernand of Food Harmony Incorporated. And let me just be the first to say on camera, welcome home, YLAI, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Welcome home. I am so happy to have you back here with us, and I cannot wait to hear the experiences. I can't wait to hear the stories. But just to give it some context, I'm going to ask you specific questions just so that we stay, on par, because we have a little bit more information coming on afterwards, which is our little information session, because we have some recruiting to do, right? So let's start out with question number one, right? When we last spoke, we had Shireen on with you guys, and she was sharing what, some of the things that she encountered, and she shared a couple of tips with you, as to what you can do, what you should do, just to make sure that you make the best of your fellowship, right? So my first question is, what in the list of suggestions that Shireen gave you did you actually put into practice and it actually worked for you, right? So I want to start with Anja. Anja, can you tackle this question for me?
Well, like Shireen said, you can never tell what your experience is going to be like, and just keeping in the back of my mind to make the most of the time overseas and to make connections everywhere. I mean, there were some mixers that we had with our city cohort ambassadors, and I made two amazing connections there. So just to always be open-minded, ask open-ended questions and see where the conversation goes. And now I can say I have some solid folks in my network, which is good.
I love the sound of that. Now, just so that the viewers and listeners can have a clear idea as to your cohort ambassadors, because these are terms that they've never heard before. So
Indeed.
Let's break it down for them. So first of all, what is a cohort ambassador and where were you placed?
Okay, so there were close to 280 of us in this cohort, and we all meet in the same place in the US, and then we go to our separate cities. So I ended up in Burlington, Vermont, and the Vermont Council for World Affairs was our city cohort ambassadors. So these are folks who work with IREX to execute YLAI, to help us know the culture and the history of the city we're in, to help us connect with businesses and individuals. So they're kind of an intermediary body that helps us settle into the city, because 4 weeks seems like a long time, but they really help us hit the ground running in terms of understanding transport, understanding like how to get around, where it's good to eat, who, if you want to connect with a direct business, they're happy to provide that information as well. So yeah, they're like, I guess you would say like a guardian of IREX to oversee the smaller groups in the individual cities. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. And the last time I saw the word Vermont, it was on my Monopoly board, because I love Monopoly. So that was the last time I saw the word Vermont. So the fact that you actually got to go there, I'm hoping that you took lots of photos of, those wonderful places. And if you did, you said you did awesome. So I'm hoping that you've been sharing these. And if you have, I definitely would like you to tell people where they can find these photos. But before we go into that, let's scoot on over to Miranda. So Miranda, please let us know where you were placed And of course, what tips did Shireen share that really, you put into action when you got to wherever it is that you were sent?
Okay, so I was in Washington, D.C.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yes, I was one of the lucky people to actually be in Washington, D.C. for almost the entire period.
Wow,
And
okay.
yeah, we had two groups in Washington, D.C. So that was actually a first, I think, for the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we had two groups, one from Seed Spot, so our ambassadors were Seed Spot, and there was Global Good Fund as well. So we all stayed in one
Oh,
place.
I love Global Good Fun.
Yes, yeah, but I was with Seed Spot. Seed Spot was awesome. Um, yeah, so one of the tips that Shireen shared was with regards to transport, because I was very scared of getting there and getting to work late. And
Oh,
imagine I left
and we spoke
home.
about time, right? Being on time.
Yes, I left home like 2 hours before the time, and I'm like, only to be
What?
like, what did I do to myself? When my FPO arrived, she was like, Miranda, you here already?
That's good. They see that as
Yes,
a plus. That's good.
yes. But actually took into consideration what she was saying about you don't know the place, so leave
Mm,
at a time that you could actually get there. If there are any mistakes, if you miss a bus or whatever, are you able to get there on time? So that was one of the tips that I took to heart on the first day.
nice. So you were
Yes.
2 hours early. You're basically on an airport, ready to travel aboard a plane, right?
Yes.
I think you would be the earliest St. Lucian ever in history to arrive at a
Yes.
job so early. So you broke the record there, my girl. You broke it.
Yeah,
Yes.
she gets the
So
trophy.
Yes.
so arriving there, very early on the onset from the first day. What type of traveling did you do? Did you take the bus? Did you take an Uber? Did you take a train? Did you walk? What was the traveling process?
So as Anja said, on the very first day, our city ambassadors were awesome. They took
Mm.
us from the Friday, they took us around, took us to the places that we could shop, and they gave us a Metro card. So we had our
Oh.
Metro card. We got to top up our Metro card, so we were able to get on a bus, on the Metro, whichever transportation that we actually chose. So
Mm-hmm.
I took the Metro, and I became somewhat of an expert traveling the Metro.
Wow. I did not have the guts for that. I'm so sorry. I took Uber.
Yeah, I did it. My FBO told me I was brave.
I could not do it. I could
And
not
she
do
was
it.
a
Yes,
great tour guide as well when I
yes,
got to
Oh,
DC finally.
nice.
Yeah,
yes,
mastered.
Wow. Okay. So the next time I
yes,
decide to travel, Miranda, I will need your tips next for how
yes,
to use the metro because I did not have the confidence for that one. I was too afraid to get lost that I wouldn't know
yes.
where to stop. I was told no, 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 no. I took an
Yeah,
Uber.
I went exploring.
You
One
went
thing that
exploring?
one
I would
thing
rather
that
walk
my
because I can know where to stop.
yeah,
Not on a vehicle, no.
one tip that I got from my brother-in-law, actually, he told me to learn north, south, east, and west of the city, and you'll be fine.
Oh, my girl.
Yes.
Google Maps, eh? Google Maps
We
was
had
my
City
friend.
Mapper. City Mapper
Oh,
was
okay.
excellent. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Now,
was better than Google Maps.
okay, now guys, I hope that you're listening to the various tools and applications that they're mentioning because you may need to use those very same apps if you've never heard of them. Google them and try to find out what they are because I definitely am going to Google them because City Maps never heard of that one. So is it only accessible in the US, City Maps?
City Mapper, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So at least
So what
that's
it
something
does,
that we know.
it maps out the entire city for you. It gives you the metro and the buses, all of that.
Mhm.
So if you need to get somewhere, it will tell you a bus is arriving in that amount of minutes.
Oh,
You need to get
wow.
there and all of that. So it actually helped a lot.
So there's
Yeah,
no way you can be late. I mean, okay,
exactly.
okay,
That's
totally
why that's
understand.
why I was 2 hours early.
That is awesome. Now, I'm sure that Shireen listening and watching right now is going to be very happy. Say, yes, yes, Miranda, yes,
Yes.
Anja, yes, very good. Now, aside from your cohort ambassador, and aside from getting to your placement, and of course, we now know who your placements were, can you please share what was the experience like, with your placement? Because you had 4 weeks of work. Now, in our minds and in persons watching and listening, they're going to hear work. So, can you give us an idea as to what work was for you? So, let's start with Anya.
Right, so I was placed at New Village Farm, and yeah, it wasn't ideal because we had three. Okay, it's not the place wasn't ideal. The timing wasn't ideal. It
Oh,
was March, so we had three
weather.
snowstorms
Oh my
while we
gosh,
were there.
weather.
So
Ooh.
my placement was actually amazing. They gave me all this gear to keep me warm. If it wasn't for that, I would have come back on a plane a lot faster. The one reel that I wish I had done was me getting dressed because I literally looked like the Michelin Man. I think I had like 6 layers on, and it still wasn't warm enough. But the people were great. I was still able to achieve some of my objectives. The farm, they are interested in starting a garden when the weather improves. So I was able to help them with a sort of a plan to how to approach that for the first time, and to integrate some of the regenerative practices into that. But in terms of what we were able to achieve from my objectives was to learn a bit about their livestock operations as well as their farm school, because that's two things that I'm looking to integrate into my operations in the future. So there were days it didn't even feel like work. And first and foremost, they inform the placement organizations that you're not an employee. This is for an exchange of knowledge and value, and it should be mutually beneficial. So there were times where I would get involved in farm chores, like taking care of the animals with the children. That was how their farm school was set up. But a lot of the time observing operations and seeing what I could share as well as what I could take home. So a lot of knowledge exchange. And yeah, the hospitality in Vermont is amazing. Like everyone
Oh,
is very
really?
friendly. Yes, yeah. It
Wow.
definitely feel that sense of community when you're there. So and if you want to meet someone, they're happy to make a connection. So it was a great experience. So that was Monday to Thursday for the 4 weeks, and then Friday we would go with our city ambassadors to have other experiences. But there were opportunities to like see how their chicken coops were set up and talk about how their operations change between now and then during the summer, because it's completely different weather-wise. So just an opportunity to be on the ground with people who do things similar to you or things that you'd like to go into, and then understanding their difficulties and how they troubleshoot and their wins so far and how they got to where they are and where they're planning to go, and then the conversation really starts so you can see where there can be knowledge and value exchange.
Wow, excellent, Anja. And you mentioned a term that says farm school. I don't think it's a term that is very well known in St. Lucia as to what a farm
So
school
we call
is.
that like summer camp,
Ah.
but it's like summer camp that goes on all year round. So it's where instead of the children having childcare like babysitters after school or doing school programs, they go onto the farm either for after school or for the whole day. So it introduces a new kind of learning where they're able to be creative and explore and interact with animals and actually care for the animals. Obviously, they're being overlooked by adults, but they're the ones like feeding and cleaning up after the animals, moving the goats around, training the goats to walk on halters so that things can be easier when in the summer they have to go from the barn to other places for grazing. So it's that in itself was a tremendous experience because in the Caribbean, we're always like work hard and get down and always go. It was a lot more of a relaxed environment and a lot more of they embrace a lot of things from exposing the children to things like grief from a very young age. So one of the cows was meant to have a calf and the calf died. And they would sit around in the morning and talk about the entire thing with the kids and let them express their emotions, how sad they were that they wouldn't have a baby cow now. And, so it's a very different approach to learning compared to school here. And it's something I'm hoping that we can create in St. Lucia, just to add a new dimension to education.
I definitely want to thank you for saying that you would like to see that introduced, because what you mentioned to a regular, normal adult to be like, I'm going to send my child to clean up after animals. I'm going to send my child on a farm. My
Yes.
child not going to be on any farm. Like,
And
this is not
working
the
child labor for
typical,
no pay.
exactly. This is not the typical
No.
mindset of a parent in St.
No.
Lucia. So
No.
there has to be some kind of, information, knowledge sharing, bringing persons up to par with what that culture is like, what that environment and that setting is like, so that persons become more informed, before thinking about introducing what this concept is. Because first and foremost, you're going to get resistance.
Obviously,
you're going to get resistance.
It's I find a lot of it is how you frame it. So I've already done surveys and spoken to a lot of students as well as their parents and teachers. And the approach is not to be like, your child is coming here to do farm work. Your child will be coming here to develop transferable skills. It's one platform where they can do this. But if you would prefer them to send them to another, organization, there are many ways we can teach those skills. But things like responsibility, accountability, a sense of agency, ensuring there's more creativity in the youth, and getting them interested in social and environmental impact and consciousness. Social responsibility, before they get older, before they have resources to put into that. So just introduce an understanding of all of these things to them at a younger age. And it's just that it's on a farm. They can go to an after-school club and do that as well. And
I love that.
I had a group from St. Joseph's Convent here last week, and it's just, we need to get the youth back into nature, off screens. I know we're on screen right now, but we need to get them.
You say back into nature, but remember, some of these children have never seen nature. The closest they've seen nature is the trees, the trees on the side of the road, or the grass that they've seen. People always say, okay, you need to cut the grass, right? This is their level and knowledge of nature for the most part. Those who live in the cities. Yeah. These children have no clue what nature is. They don't.
Well, when I say back, I mean like their parents had, like girl days and those kinds of things to get back to that lifestyle, because I am aware that there is a gap.
Yeah, there definitely is. And I can definitely relate to that. I asked my children, just off the top of my head, what's the one animal you wouldn't mind seeing, close up? And they both said cow. And then it occurred to me, my children have never seen a cow. Like, what kind of parent am I? I can't be a Lucian parent. Like, my children have never seen a cow. What's wrong with me? Like, literally, the only time they've ever seen a cow is on television. That's it. To the point
I have a friendly cow, so come down.
And so I took it upon myself. We did around the island, 2 years back. And I said, okay, I am determined to stop anywhere I see any farm animals so that they can see those animals close up. And when the children saw a cow, they were like, the cow is so big. Like, they were so shocked at the size of the cow. And they did not, just being able to be in that same space, they were fearful. They were keeping their distance a bit, holding on to me, because they thought that the cow would have attacked them. I'm like, no, the cow's not going to attack you. And then they saw a goat. And then, they saw a bull. These are the types of animals they don't typically get to see because of, city life. And, having to go to the countryside and show them, what these animals look like. It really helped them to understand, have a better understanding and appreciative of those types of animals and what they do. I'm like, why are you afraid of the cow? You drinking its milk? And be like, yuck, mommy. Like, that's the reaction that I got. That's the truth.
And it's not only
your can in your box. It's from them.
And it's not only something in St. Lucia. That's exactly why New Village Farm has set up the farm school. And it's to ensure that even though it is in a city, the farms on the outskirts are welcoming not only the children, but they have farm school for kids who are 5 and up. But then for those under 5, they have like family day where the parents come with like really young children and they can start to interact with the animals. So it's proven, you know, to be very beneficial for your health. You know, being on the farm, working in soil, actually putting your hands in the soil. So these are all things, you know, in this day and age where we're busy and stressful, it's a way to, you know, unplug and calm down and really take in the beauty.
I love the scenario that you've presented. It will not appeal to everyone, but it will appeal to a lot of, you know, people who are looking for peace, tranquility, something to do, you know, just to connect with the outdoors. So thank you so much for sharing that, Anja.
My pleasure.
And Miranda, let's go over to you. So can you please share with us what typically work week looks like for you?
Okay, so I was with UDC, that's the University of District Columbia. That's where my FPO, Vivica Brooks, was located. She was based. She has something called TBG Trains, and it's a program for tennis. That's a governmental program for people who are housed. They have housing, they have childcare and different things that they get from the government. And the one criteria that the government has is that they get educated or they get educated to get into a job or they go to university. So we work with young adults. We had people coming in with kids to get their stuff done, to get their orientation done. So I got an in-depth look of what it looks like to actually train young people. And it was just amazing how closely that my FPO and my objectives aligned. It was just amazing. And we kept saying that over and over throughout the 4 weeks. How did they get it so right? Yes. So I got to do so many amazing things. I got to see.
Shout out to Eric. Job well done.
Yes. Yes, I got to do so many amazing things. I got to actually, we had our collaboration plan and we completed everything on our collaboration plan and so much more. I got to brainstorm with this brilliant person who gave me so many ideas. We had this big board where we would actually have our brainstorming sessions. We had different training sessions. We got to see the city. My I can't even begin to tell you
Do you
how
see the amount of
amazing this
excitement
was.
that Miranda has on her face? Do you see this, guys? Do you see the amount of
Can't contain.
excitement Miranda has on her face? It's almost as if like she regrets coming back here. Miranda?
Sit on Christmas Day.
I don't. It's just that it was so amazing that it's just hard to explain. It was just bittersweet coming back home because I missed my son at the end of it, with my husband. At the end of the last week, the last leg, I was like, Lord, I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home. But it was bittersweet. She did everything and so much more. She took me out to see the library, the MLK library. So I got a personal tour of the MLK library. I got to explore different programs that the government has. I got invited to meetings. I got to see the inner workings of her business and got to see so many plans that she has planned to do. And now I'm actually working with them. So that is just
Okay, let's repeat that last line because I don't think everybody in the back really heard
yes.
that one. So
Yes.
remember there was something we mentioned in our last interview with Anja, with Miranda and Michelle, where we said there's an opportunity where you can get to work with, partner with the placement host. So let's listen to Miranda carefully. Miranda, can you please repeat?
So now I am actually working with TBG Trains to actually educate people from St. Lucia, and I'm looking to actually implement some of the programs that they have here in St. Lucia.
Woo!
So it's amazing. That's all I can say.
We heard that, right, guys? We heard that. We heard that. So Miranda, it sounds like you have a lot cooking up, brewing, that is going to
Okay.
come out very, very soon. We
Yes.
don't want to give out too much information, but what would you
Yes.
like to say to people who want to get some more information from you specifically about your experience? Where can they go to learn about your experiences? Where can you
Okay,
send them?
so I am on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I share my journey. I started the 15-day challenge and I was not consistent with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was not consistent with it, but I will continue. From
Yeah.
wherever I stopped, I will continue. Yeah, so I'm there. I can also be contacted on my business number 484-8418, or you could just shoot me a WhatsApp message, or you could shoot me a message on any of my social platforms. And I'm
okay.
happy. I'm
So
happy, happy,
Miranda, you
happy
said
to.
you have this 15-day challenge that you were doing. So basically you were sharing your journey over a period of 15 days, right?
Yes.
Okay, so where are you posting these? Where are you posting this?
On all social platforms, from Instagram. I'm not on
What's the
all
name
of
of your
them.
social channels? What's the name?
So I am Miranda George Afo on LinkedIn, um, Miranda George on Facebook, and Miranda George and Sunshine on Instagram. And it's not spelled the regular sunshine, it's SUNNESHYNNE. So you could
Trust
link
us,
me
Saint
on any other
Lucian.
visitors.
Trust us, Saint Lucian.
Yes, I had to make it unique.
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Now, I heard about this 15-day challenge. Anja, are you taking part in this challenge?
No,
Oh.
unfortunately, I'm not, but I might do it. There's so many. I have a bad habit where I get so engrossed in the experiences and I take all the photos and then later they get shared. So I did start
Ah.
sharing some stories and stuff, but I'll get back to catching up on it. Um, but yeah, there was just so many experiences.
You ladies
Yeah.
sounded like you had a blast
Oh
with your
yes, yeah,
placements, a blast, an
yeah,
absolute blast. But let
yeah.
me ask you a question though. From your all of the preparation that you did prior to leaving St. Lucia, did all of that come in handy?
Yes.
It did. Yes, it
Let me
did.
tell you, it was a shock. Anya, I experienced snowstorms. And I was
Wow.
shocked when she told me that she experienced the snowstorms because I was like, oh, Washington, D.C. is so cold. And then she told me, like, free snowstorms. I'm like, what? We
Yeah,
got the
like a foot of
flurries.
snow.
Yes.
3 snowstorms, that's a lot.
Yeah, like a
That
foot
is
of
a lot.
snow. And yeah, and it was good. There were some things, I was thinking about that today. There's never a perfect time. There's
Mm.
never a perfect time to start a business, to start an experience, to have children, to start a new chapter in life. You just have to, you know, go forward and make the most of the experience. And I remember Shireen telling us about her challenges and how she didn't get, the experience she expected. But even when we went for our visas, the ambassador in Bridgetown was like, it is what you make of it. So from me, I think the experience now would have been totally different 10 years ago. So I'm glad I applied now rather than when I was younger. And even when with the things that didn't go to plan or there were disappointments, I find that I was able and I got a lot of practice in adjusting my expectations. So that is one of the key things to it. So there was a snowstorm, we made snow angels and snowmen with the kids. And, there were days where, the FPO was like, you don't have to come in till later. I know the weather is horrible. So, there are flexibilities. So as human beings, have a tendency to try and want to control everything and
Mm.
just to for
The
me,
things
I
that
think really resonated with me and my FPO was just to slow down, just slow down, like enjoy now and yeah, think about and make steps for the future, but just embrace now because sometimes we have this tunnel vision on how we want things to work out and then we miss connections. And there were, two gentlemen who I connected with, one who does, grant proposals, another one who introduced me to all of this software and technology in terms of monitoring agriculture and climate, changes. So you just never know what you will meet. So to have an idea of what you want to accomplish, but leave space for you to breathe and also to, key into what else comes up that you weren't expecting. So like for me with Vermont Council on World Affairs, Haley was amazing. And like she got me connected with other farms, some of them that will teach, sustainability, to teach you to become a teacher of sustainability practices, and then to go to a massive compost production site and to interact with that gentleman. And even then thinking, I have an idea of what your business model is. And then he shows me other things that they're into. And I'm like, oh, so I was thinking about this and you're basically telling me you're 10 years ahead and it's possible. Great. So you just never know what
about
you'll
proof
find.
of concept. Yes.
I know. It's like takes the doubt out. Thank you. Shortcut, fast forward. So sometimes when you're open to introductions and conversations and different approaches, there was another business where they have like a food hub and they do this community-based agricultural system. And it's just like, oh, maybe that's another way to approach the problems. So it just gets you thinking outside the box and find out what other people have done. And that can, help you fast track your own plans in ways that you don't even know. And
okay.
Yeah.
Now, thank you so much for sharing that, Anja. Now, I'm hoping that with all of this information you're sharing now, that you will take up the challenge at some point and start posting that up so persons can read about it and learn more.
Definitely.
So can't you tell people where can they find you, so that they can follow up with you and ask you a bit more about your experience?
Sure. I'm on LinkedIn, Anja Fernand. That's probably one of the best places. Second would be Instagram. The company is Food Harmony Incorporated. And then my personal account is Anja Rose Fernand. So that's Anja, Anja, Rose, like the flower, Fernand. And I have both of them open because for me, there's the entrepreneurial journey and then there's the individual journey where you're growing and becoming something. We all start somewhere and we grow and blossom. I'm on Facebook as well. The company's, again, Food Harmony Incorporated.
Okay, so those of you who are listening and those of you who are watching, you heard it yourself. You heard from Miranda, and her company is Techtron Nights. You heard from Anja, her company is Food Harmony Incorporated. And we just welcome them home from their YLAI experience that they had for 2024. Yes, it was 2 of them from St. Lucia who was selected. And when we come back from our break, because we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we're going to learn how you can and may have the opportunity to experience the very same amazingness that Miranda and Anja went through. And let me tell you, when you think of an opportunity that sounds like it's too good to be true, and you're wondering, should I? We're telling you, yes, take that leap. So when we come back, you're going to learn about it. We're going to tell you about the program a little bit more in detail, what it is, who it is for, so that you can find out if you're eligible or not. You're also going to understand what you need to have in place in order for you to become eligible if you're not yet, and what the age range is. So when we come back, we're going to delve into YLAI 2025. So we're coming back. Don't go anywhere. Share this link if you have not yet done so. And of course, use the hashtag YLAI 2025 when sharing the link, and ask somebody to come in and listen, okay? They need to be here. If you're here, your friends need to be here. If you know of any young entrepreneurs who are interested in becoming change makers, they need to be here on this live, all right? So when we come back, we will go delve into YLAI 2025. We're going to take a break. Stick around with us.
YLAI program is something intense, so I think that you make a lot of friendship and connections. My friends from Peru, Chile, Belize, they helped me not just in my life, but also in my professional life, in my projects, trying to work better and develop our countries together.
And we have impacted over 22 entrepreneurs, some of which are actually YLAI Network members. They have pitched at our events, they've made connections, and I'm glad to say that the program has impacted them in such a way that they're looking forward to more engagement and other events such as this.
It's a great opportunity to network as well, to share your ideas, to get feedback for your ideas as well, professional feedback as well, and to actually network with stakeholders that may help you, and you will be able to help them back as well with your businesses or organizations.
We have seen within the group a gradual culture shift from I need to succeed more towards we need to succeed. And I believe that is a direct result of some of the things that I've done differently after YLAI.
I think community is one of the greatest needs of human being. So if you master that approach, you can change lives, your life, and change your business. Go out there, find something to do, find a solution to those problems that are in your community. You can do it, and your community needs you.
We complain about things that could be changed, but we don't realize that change has to start with us. So if you would like to know how, and you're not sure, seek me out. I will be more than happy to share that information. Or you can go to ylai.state.gov to get more information. Join the YLAI Network now. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us and with me. And we are talking to our 2024 St. Lucian YLAI alumni, Anja and Miranda. Before we took our break, they shared their individual experiences with us, with their cohort ambassadors, and what a typical work week looked like. So now, as we're back, we're going to delve a little deeper into some information that we'd like to share with you on the premise of it could be you, or you could be next. Think of it that way. Let's brand it that way. It could be you, you could be next. YLAI 2025. All right, so let's start with Anja. Anja, is there anything that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers that you feel that they really need to know in order to prepare for the next coming YLAI?
Yes, we definitely want as many people as possible applying for this program. So we want you to help us spread the word. One of the things that was so obvious when we got to the program was that the Caribbean is really underrepresented. Not only St. Lucia, but there are several other islands that are eligible for the program. And, they each had maybe 2 or 3 representatives. Jamaica had quite a few, I think about 9 or 10. But still, there were less than 50 of us from the region, and the rest were from Latin America. So just to, spread the word and have a look at the application. Even though you are not eligible for this year, look at the requirements and then start putting things in place so that in the next year or 2, you can apply as well. And it's very simple things. Start a social media account. Get your resume in order so you can show what you're doing. Summarize your impact, summarize your goals. Just start, register your business. That could be your first step. You have a concept, register the business, get things rolling, show how you can have social impact. So even though you don't apply this year, please still look at the application and share it with your friends. Talk about it with your friends in St. Lucia, your colleagues, any students, and in the region as well. We really need the numbers in St. Lucia and in the region coming up, because the benefits of this program are not only by going through the virtual learning and the placement. There are opportunities by becoming an alumni, and you can see one of the logos up there that says Exchange Alumni. There's a lot of opportunities. That's it for me.
Anja, I love the way that you started. And Miranda, I know that you're going to just carry on with the flow. Let's go. What do you want to share with our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, so just to continue what Anja just said, you have an opportunity and you should seize it. Even if you're not ready now, you have until you're 35. I mean, I applied on my final year.
And she
So
got
that was,
through.
yeah, and I got through.
Me
So
too.
exactly, we both applied on our final year and we were able to get through to that. One of the most important things that I would like to say, though, is that she mentioned social impact, and that's one of the most important things, having a social impact. And sometimes we do not see the social impact that we have within ourselves. Look at your business. What are you doing for the community? No matter how small it is, it's something big. And what are your goals? Are your goals to help people? That is something that they're actually looking for. So don't underestimate yourself. We learned something throughout our program, for the opening forum to the closing forum, that sometimes we basically have this imposter syndrome where we don't see the abilities that we actually have. I think one of our fellow alumni actually summed it all the best. We sometimes lose our superpower. So claim your superpower. Yes, and apply. Yes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
and
Miranda, I
yes,
think you were
another
speaking to
thing.
me. My goodness.
Yes,
Continue.
claim your superpower. Yes. So get on that ball, get that ball rolling. As Anja said, do all the things that she said to do, and keep in mind that you can do it. And we need to get St. Lucia represented in a much bigger group. We need the entire Caribbean represented in a bigger group. I mean, if Haiti can have like 9, Haiti can have 9 people represented. Jamaica can have so many. St. Lucia can have that many as well. And I believe we can have even more from these countries. So you could get on there and sign up.
Okay, so I definitely want to thank you, ladies, for starting it off, because you ladies will basically be carrying the torch long after I'm gone. Yes. So this is what I'm thinking of, right? This is what I'm thinking of. I'm very, 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 very enthusiastic and very, I'm very passionate about the YLAI program. And from the time that I did this in 2017, it has been my mission to share this opportunity with as many St. Lucians as possible. I've made it my self-made mission, to the point where the US Embassy in Barbados has dubbed me the advocate for St. Lucians when it comes to YLAI. That's who I am, guys. So when you hear me talking about the YLAI program, it is not something that I'm telling you about that is just another program, because we have so many programs that we're hearing here, there, everywhere popping up. This is not just another program. It's an experience. It is an exchange. It is a formidable experience that will change you on the inside. And that will, in fact, change the way you do business. Can you imagine what you can do if you change that way? And there was something that both Miranda and Anja alluded to that I wanted to again reinforce: social impact. Guys, this is no joke. Social impact is the key to success. You can succeed in business if you choose to, yes. But if there's no social impact, there's no telling how sustainable your business is going to be, because the community has to stand behind you and what you do in order for you to continue down the line. I'm sure you would have heard in the past, if you're coming from a small community, where you've heard somebody say, that person, I know this person, and because I know this person and how good they are, I'm going to stick with this person for life, because they just know that this person can deliver. Think of your business like that. If you have a community talking about you like that, it doesn't matter who the competitor is, your community is going to stick behind you, because you have proven to them that you care about them, and that it's not just about making money for you. You're also looking at investing into your community. And this is one of the things that will give you a leg up and an advantage in your application, showing the impact that your business is going to have. And let me just put a plug in here for SLUDTERA. This is exactly what we teach you how to do. That's one of the things we teach you how to do. We teach you how to become a social butterfly. Don't take this the wrong way. Butterflies fly from flower to flower drinking nectar. Think of yourself that way, connecting with different people in your community. And everywhere that you go, people are impressed by you. People are impressed by the work that you do, and they want to support you. That's the type of feedback that you're going to get when you operate your business and do not neglect the social impact that your business can have. And if you work with SLUDTERA, if you work with us, we can show you how to achieve just that. We've been doing this successfully for 6 years, guys. 6 years. We have to be doing something right. So if you want to learn how to do that, give us a call and we can show you how. Now let's delve into something that, of course, we each would like to share with you. Yes, if you are selected for this opportunity, there are a lot of things that you get access to. One of which is a stipend. Now, because we care about you, we would like to share this information with you just so that you know that you need to be disciplined, okay? In as much as the opportunity is there, in as much as that stipend is there for you to utilize for your incidentals, for your meals and your transportation, we want to share with you a very important tip. Our culture and on the inside, in our hearts, we tend to splurge on things we don't typically have access to on a day-to-day basis. We see things on the television, we see things on the shelves locally, and we cannot afford it. We've all been there. And then when we get to the US, we're seeing these very same things at next to nothing. Please, guys, do not let this beat you. The entrepreneur in you is going to sit you down and tell you, we have a budget, okay? So we're going to tell you right now, as the entrepreneur, you have to also show to your cohort ambassadors. You also have to show to your placement hosts. You also have to indicate to IREX that you are a disciplined professional. All of this is a test, basically. Yes, you're getting this opportunity, but what are you going to do with it? Are you going to come out of it the same way that you went in, or is it going to change you? And is it going to change you for the better? So I'm going to allow each person to share how they applied themselves with regards to the stipend, and so that you can learn basically from us what we did, and that you have an opportunity now to do the same when your time comes around. So for me, from the time I got my stipend, I already had a budget in mind. I had it written down. And when we first landed in Kansas City, the very first place we went was shopping, because of course we had to stock up on food items and so on. Person shopped for a few days because their intention was to eat out. Their intention was to dine out because of course they wanted to experience the food and the culture that is Kansas City. And what is Kansas City famous for? Steak. Of course they want to, eat that meat and drink that beer and all of that. But I had a plan, an action plan already. My action plan was to cook my food every day. So I stocked up on my food items and I bought in bulk to last me for the entire 4 weeks that I was going to be there. Not once did I have to purchase anything else. As a matter of fact, I actually had stuff left over that I gave to some of the hotel staff, and they were so grateful for that. And another thing that we did, some of us decided we both don't need to buy detergent. Let one person buy the gallon detergent and we share it among ourselves when we go to our laundry. And then somebody else can buy the softener. And then somebody else can buy this. So we had a strategy in place for ensuring that we spend as little money as possible. Because of course you need to get around. And based on where we were, we had to take Ubers. Okay. And so we literally had to take an Uber to go to work every day and to come back every day. So that's a lot of money being spent on transportation. And as well, your incidentals. If there's anything that happens and you want to cover the cost of that, you need to have sufficient money there just in case. And also, please be wise. What else did I do? I brought back a balance of money with me that was given to me because I wanted to invest that money. how many times do you get money offered to you for free and say, hey, look, do what you will with it? I came back with a portion of that money. Okay. So that's another thing that you want to do. You want to ensure that you come back with a good portion of the money that was given to you, especially if it wasn't all used up. If you use it wisely, trust me, you will come back with a portion. Okay, so that was what I did. So Miranda, Anja, can you please share with our listeners and viewers, how did you tackle your stipend issue?
I'll let Miranda go first. For change.
Okay, so as Mrs. Samuel said, first thing I did was go to shop, and I shopped for weeks. I didn't go to buy anything or any of that sort, because one of the things that you will learn is that the public transport system, even though you feel that the supermarket or the store that you go into is, in my case, it was Trader Joe's, it's very close. By the time you buy the groceries and you log out, you have to take an Uber to get back home. So I made sure that I bought everything that I had to, take an Uber and go back home, so I didn't have to buy anything after that. I also had a goal for my time in the US. So I became a vegetarian. I went back to be vegan. So so that actually helped me a lot, because I had a dietary restriction. I cooked everything that I ate. Some people actually did splurge. They went out, they ate, and all of these things. And some of these trips I didn't go. Maybe they said that I didn't take part, but I prefer cooking my own food. Yes. So budgeting, I think this experience helped me a lot of budgeting. It gave me more discipline, because I was able to actually enact a budget that I had before I came up to the States. So that actually helped me out. So that's something that I would encourage you to do, to keep to a budget. And as Ms. Samuel said, you will have extra. As long as you keep to the budget, you will have extra, because public transportation for the city that I was in, it was just public transportation. We didn't have to take Ubers everywhere. So I utilized the metro, I utilized taking the bus, and I spent less than $100 for public transportation. So that goes to show you how much you could actually save. And yes, I utilized the opportunity to actually open an account in the US. So some of the money was invested into doing something that I needed at that point, and for when I got back home, and I was able to do every single thing and have money left.
Yay. By the way, where
Yeah,
did you open your account?
I used PNC, so that's the
PNC.
same, yeah. So that's the same bank that IRX
And
uses. So
hey, let me tell you that that's a strategic move there. That's a strategic move right there. So if you follow Miranda, she can also share why she chose to open her account there. But my account was at Bank of America. Yeah, that was mine. All right. So Anja, what about you?
Right. So for me, I would always recommend first thinking of the result you want in the end and working backward. So when it comes to like investing or making your decisions, then it helps you realize you can't have it all, and then to choose what you want most, because it is a nice stipend, but it isn't, enough to splurge on technology. And I think some people went to NASA the first day and then rodeo the second.
Oh my
and I was
gosh.
just like, I'm going to sleep and network. So it's up to you, but like at the end, you have to be realistic about your means. So for me, what I heard was that there's different types of accommodations. So when you touch down in your city, I would recommend getting a lay of the land first, because we stayed in a hotel and it was actually a self-contained suite. So there was microwave, stove, all the pots and pans, and we had fridge and freezer. But
Yeah.
then when you start talking to the hotel, you'll find out what's included. So like breakfast was included. So then that means that when you go shopping, you don't buy things that you don't need.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
our hotel was great. They even offered detergent for free, but then you had to pay for the washers and dryers.
The
So I
tokens.
actually bought detergent and I had to take it back because I hadn't
Oh,
asked enough questions. So it's,
okay.
you know, we're not perfect, but in retrospect, I would say find out what's included so you don't buy something unnecessarily. And then for me, a couple of the other things I found out, like the bus was free and they were meant to start charging like halfway through the trip, but they extended that to the summer.
Ooh, lucky you.
And then the
Yes.
buses had free Wi-Fi. So
Oh, wow.
I could have taken an Uber, but I was like, if I don't take the Uber, then I can save the money and spend it on something. And while I was on the bus, I was able to keep up with like correspondence and do some social media or research places and, you know, send emails to visit them or create a plan for the weekend, what I wanted to do. So it's up to you how you spend your time and manage your resources, but I would really encourage it. It's like people were like, you're taking the bus and you have all this stuff. And honestly, you really get to know a place when you humble yourself and, you know, just interact with people who are from there. Sadly, it became evident how bad the opioid crisis was in the city and how they're managing that. But then, you know, you meet people and like every day the bus driver's like, oh, I see you again, you know, so you have these little connections and you can talk about things that you wouldn't expect to talk about. So I really encourage, you know, obviously being safe, but, you know, experiencing the public transport. And then if that helps you with your budget, it also meant that I could just relax for a while without having to think about, you know, I'm going to get there in 20 minutes and have to go again. The bus was an hour each way, but hey, why not? You know, it's an experience. So just get a lay of the land and figure out what you want to do. And then I made connections and I was able to invest some of that money into products that I'm working on. So market research and then some equipment as well. So, you know, you get connections and you figure out where your money is best spent for you right now.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So much. So now at this time, what we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a flyer. And this particular flyer is extremely important. Now, I want you to take note of the things that we're going to be sharing with you because it is all about YLAI 2025, right? So again, guys, listen carefully. This is about YLAI 2025. If you have not yet considered whether or not you should apply, we're going to tell you all the reasons why you should, okay? But let's start out with what YLAI really is, right? So YLAI, or the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, is a fully funded U.S. Department of State flagship program. And that's one of the first things that you're going to hear. Because the U.S. Department of State Bureau of Educational Cultural Affairs hosts a slew of programs specifically for young leaders of our region. And YLAI is its flagship for young leaders. Okay, it is a fully funded 4-week exchange program. And this exchange program provides you the opportunity to improve leadership and entrepreneurial skills through hands-on experience. And Anja and Miranda shared some of what that hands-on experience looked like. You get, aside from online coursework, which of course you would complete prior to your travel, you have face-to-face training that you also take part in. Now, for YLAI 2025, this is the timeline that you want to look at. It opens tomorrow. Yes. Applications open tomorrow, May 8th. So if you think you're going to miss this, it is not happening. We're not going to let you. We're going to be humbugging you and flooding your social medias and telling you, hey, you need to apply. We need some numbers, guys. We need quality St. Lucian people to take part in the YLAI experience, okay? So you will participate in a virtual orientation with, of course, your ELC, that is called the Entrepreneurship Leadership Curriculum, prior to your US travel. This is going to prep you for your experience. I'm telling you, it is game-changing. If you've ever thought about a program that prepares you for an experience, I'm talking about this. It's unlike any other experience you've had in your life. I'm telling you, it's a guarantee. So you go to your 4-week placement. In some cases, such as Anja, you go to a different city than where you start with your opening orientation. But like Miranda, who was lucky enough to stay in Washington, you get to remain in DC with your group, and then you get with your placement for a period of 4 weeks. There are different ways of moving around depending on where you are or how far your placement is from your lodging area. There's an opportunity where you can be in a hotel, you can be on a campus, you can be in a dorm. It really depends on where you are placed. Now, just to let you know, when this application process opens tomorrow, it's going to open up to June 5th. So you do not have much time, guys. We're going to help you get your act together. And this is who we're talking to. We're talking to St. Lucians who are 25 to 35 years of age. Well, technically 34, because if you're turning 35 after the before the program, then you won't be eligible. So we want to ensure that we look at people that are 25 years to 34-ish, 35. You are the persons who we're talking to. If you're operating businesses, social enterprises, ventures for at least 2 years, you are eligible. Are you listening to me, St. Lucians? At least 2 years, you are eligible. And of course, for our region, these are the participating countries. We just fall into one of them in the bracket. But what we want to definitely say to you, I'm going to stop sharing at this point. What we want to say to you is that if you are unsure if you qualify, reach out to us. If you are unsure whether you meet the criteria, reach out to us. We will individually be sharing this opportunity on our socials. So please follow each of our social platforms to know more about this program. We will be sharing it. And if you did not know, St. Lucians for YLAI is a program that was started by myself, 2017 YLAI Alumni. And I run this program through SLUDTERA, my company, okay? So if you want to learn about the YLAI program and its history, you can visit our page on our website. It's called St. Lucians for YLAI. We will be sharing the link, so please take a look at it. And then you can find out who the previous YLAI alumni have been over the years, because YLAI has been around since 2016 to now, and it is ongoing. And we would love to have more St. Lucians participate. Just as Anja said, in 2018, we had 4. That was the most number of St. Lucians we had in a year. We would love to see more. Now, it's true that the size of the island plays a very vital role in the number of persons that are selected. But if we have a good cross-section of applications, guys, a really large and good cross-section of applications, then more than likely we can have a lot more finalists, a lot more people making it to the fellowship, okay? So I'm gonna allow Miranda and Anja to share with you briefly, just 1 minute each of you, what your personal campaign is going to be to recruit for YLAI 2025. Miranda, let's start with you.
Okay, so I've already identified people that I know.
Oh, nice. That was fast.
Because coming back from this experience, it actually changes you, as Mrs. Samuel said, and it basically gives you a different outlook. You come back a different person. So coming back from this experience, I'm like, this person can benefit from that. This person, and I've already spoken to these people, and that would be my approach. Identifying people that I know and that I see potential in, and bringing them into the fold so that they could actually apply.
Oh, nice. Okay, and you, Anja, quickly, we have just 1 minute before we close. What is
Yes.
your recruitment effort going to be?
So I've been part of a couple of the organizations. So I did an incubator program. I think these are a few people across the Caribbean who have their own networks to share the word, to spread the word. And then one of the agricultural groups that I'm in, I've already shared this stream with them on the break to get them to look. So hopefully some of them can use this to improve their business, because sometimes it just takes an opportunity like this for you to, you know, refocus on what you're doing and to really repackage yourself so that you can present your social impact. And that helps you focus better and be more impactful in the end. So yeah, come on down to the farm, check out my social media. I have some open days coming up, so come, we'll drink a coconut and talk about how you can, you know, get yourself out there.
I love that invitation. Yes, I'll be there. I second that. So guys, this has been St. Lucians for YLAI, welcoming back home Miranda and Anja, our 2024 St. Lucian YLAI alumni. 2024, guys. Woo! Congratulations.
And I forgot to mention that we actually became great friends.
Yes. You get us, we came back we left as St. Lucians, we came back as sisters.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be following them. I'm going to definitely be looking out for Anja's journey, her 15-day challenge. I'm going to be looking out for that. So you heard their socials, guys. We will be posting their links in the chat. So again, thank you for joining us for St. Lucians for YLAI. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thanks, Michelle, for this.
Bye.
Thanks we appreciate you. Thanks for having us on.
Yes.
We are